My name is Kepper Kears, and I am the Director of Wellness and Therapeutic Services at LifeCamp Inc.
And I am Tracy Queen, credible clinician at Life Camp Inc.
So, a question came up. Are we still doing Wellness Wednesday today in the midst of all of this civil unrest? And of course, I mean, this is the time when we put our tools into practice. Wellness Wednesday is all about practicing and galvanizing the tools. So when the time is needed, we can draw upon the things that help us. And so today, in the midst of all that is going on, today's theme is calm in the midst of chaos. And so, the most important thing that you can do for yourself right now is to keep your nervous system calm, is to keep yourself from going into a state of anxiety that is not going to serve you, that's not going to allow you to think clearly and have the clarity of thought or the courage of heart to move as you need to. The answers are within, and so is your well being. So I just wanted to welcome you all and let you know that this is the time. We thought that when 2020 ended, that everything would go away. But 2020 was an opportunity for us to get in touch with ourselves and to put our tools or to gather our tools. And now it is time to put them into practice. So, right now, as we get ready to start, I want you to get yourself something warm to drink, a cup of tea, or if you don't have any tea, perhaps get some lemon or lime and squeeze it into a cup, maybe some warm or room temperature water, and give yourself the opportunity to hydrate yourself with something soothing that's non alcoholic. But allow the body to be calmed by something warm and soothing. And you don't even have to do this in real time with us. If you decide to watch this later or at another time or later on this evening, just make sure that you honor your body by treating yourself to something that's going to soothe the throat, that's going to bring comfort and warmth inside. So we'll get ready to start. And so, Queen, how are you today before we begin?
Well, thank you for asking. I am well, thank you. With all that's going on, I felt myself having a little anxiety. Um, but I went to the breath, which is the source.
Yeah.
And that always helps me to calm down.
Yeah, and we were getting a lot of calls. I know right before we went on, you had some calls from family members. I
Yeah.
had tons of calls from family and friends, and most people are in a state of fear. And it is very important to understand that when chaos happens, that is an opportunity for people to capitalize off of your energy because your energy is a great source of power. So you don't want to fuel any more chaos with your energy. You want to be mindful of using it to heal yourself, to hold yourself in light, and also to heal and protect your family and your loved ones. Because when you're in a state of anxiety, you can't think straight, right? So we approach everything the same way. We want to get in alignment. We want to alkalize our bodies. And it's really important that we remind ourselves of who we are, especially in this time, but every day. And so, of course, we say align, alkaline, and remind, right? So, the first thing we want to do is get in alignment. And I thought it would be great to bring out one of the singing bowls, particularly the green one, because if you watched us on Feel Good Fridays, you know we're focusing on the heart. And I think it's really, it's actually divine timing because the one thing we know about the heart is one of the most powerful organs in the body in terms of electricity and electromagnetic energy. Like the force of the heart, when you believe something and you take it to heart, the heart has a greater capacity in terms of electromagnetic power than the brain. So when you
Queen,
believe, yes.
could you kind of like explain what do you mean by the electromagnetic brain. Could you kind of go in
Yeah,
what
yeah.
for
Thank
the
you for asking.
for,
So
for
this is what
lay
I
for
mean, right?
layman's? Hmm.
So this is what I mean. Thank you for asking, Tracy, for that clarifying question, Queen. So every center of our body needs power or energy in order to function, right? Your digestive system needs power to function. Your lungs, your respiratory system needs power to function. Your brain needs power to function. Everything in your body needs power, right? It needs energy. The heart happens to give off more energy than any organ in the body.
Wow.
So, if you are holding something or taking something, people say don't take it to heart, you have a greater chance of that energy, however that energy is skewing, like whether it's if it's negative, if your heart is filled with fear and anxiety, it has a greater power to impact your health and well-being because that electric charge goes through the bloodstream through stress hormones, and you can actually really hurt yourself. You can cause high blood pressure. You can create diabetes. I'm just saying, outside of sugar imbalance, we're talking about imbalance in the body system. You can cause yourself ulcers. There's so many things that you can do to the body with that organ based on your belief system and how you're allowing it to make you feel, because the heart is the center of your emotions. Okay. So that's why we want to focus on protecting our heart. We're going to do a guided meditation to help relax the nervous system so you can think clearly, so you can bring calm to your children. Because what we don't want is to feed more fear to our children and our family, especially if we're in a space where there's not really much we can do about it, right? If you are not in a space where there's anything else you can do but be in your house, why consume yourself with the energy that's going to cause you to be hurt or to be weak or off balance? Does that make sense?
Absolutely, Queen. Thanks for that clarity. Yes,
No, thank you for the question. And
absolutely.
so, and even to that end, right? Like, think about what's happening today. Think about the fact that people bought into a belief, and because they are moving based on their belief, the heart chakra, that energy center is moving, is actually causing them to put all of this energy and rage into the Capitol building, right? Into the community of Washington, D.C., and into the minds and hearts of people around the country to perpetuate more fear or anger or frustration or potentially more violence, right? And so, what you have the power to do at home, we talk about peace being a lifestyle. You have the power to heal thyself. You have the power and the right to protect what's happening inside of you. So, our lane and our goal is wellness. Okay. And everyone has a lane in this world, and this is ours. And we are here to support you having peace in the midst of chaos. And that is so important for your well being, especially if you're sitting home watching the television, wondering what's about to happen. It's okay to observe, it's important to be aware, but what you want to do is be mindful of what's happening inside. And so your body, your breath, your energy happens autonomically. And so these are forces that, unless you are mindful, they will take on a life of their own and can cause you great illness. You can find yourself shaking. You can find that you're going to substances in order to force yourself to calm down, but those substances are temporary. So we want to reinforce the tools that we've been teaching and provide a meditation that's going to support you. All right. So if in the time that we were talking, you had a chance to get a warm beverage or even some lemon water, again, a little lemon, a little lime in some warm water or room temperature water, just something to help alkalize the body, because you want to be less acidic. And so I invite you, you could be laying down and listening, or you could be sitting in a comfortable chair, but I invite you to just get comfortable. Okay. If you're wearing really tight fitting clothes, loosen your belt, take off your tie. If you if you're wearing a necktie, remove anything that's constricting on the body. Okay. And I just invite you to close your eyes. If you don't want to close your eyes, you can do what's called soft eyes and just slightly lower your eyes until you're kind of looking off in the distance You're not really looking at anything, but things are a little blurry. Okay? And all I want you to do is just focus on your breathing. You're breathing in through the nose. You're breathing out through the nose or through the mouth, whichever one is most comfortable for you. I do encourage you, though, to breathe out through the nose. Breathe in and feel the warmth of the air as it's coming in, and breathe out. Forgive me. Breathe in and feel the coolness of the air as it's coming in, and breathe out and feel the warmth of the air as it leaves your nose. Just breathe in and breathe out. And now, as you're breathing in and out, I just want you to be mindful of whether your inhale is the same length as your exhale. As you're breathing in and out, just notice, is your inhale the same length as your exhale? And as you continue to breathe, also notice how the flow of air is coming in and out of either nostril, whether you have more air coming in and out of the left or the right nostril. Just notice that as you breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, noticing whether your inhale and your exhale are the same length, noticing whether the right or left nostril have the same amount of air going in and out, and continue to observe your breathing and just be present to your breathing. And as you breathe, any sounds around you, just let them become a part of your meditation. Just be aware that there's sound around you. Be aware of the air around your body, around your skin, as you continue to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And this time when you inhale, I want you to notice the slight pause after you inhale before you exhale. And when you exhale, I want you to notice the slight pause after you exhale before you inhale. And just notice the pause at the inhale and the pause at the exhale. And just notice that. Just notice the power and the function of your breathing. And as you continue to breathe, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose, noticing whether the flow of air is even, the inhale and the exhale being the same length, I want you, using your mind, to take in, elongate the inhale, elongate the exhale. And just notice that as you elongate the breath, you will find that the body is relaxing a little more. So now we're breathing in through the nose and elongating the breath and noticing the slight pause once we breathed in before we exhale. Noticing the exhale, and if it's as long as the inhale, and the slight pause at the end of the exhale before we inhale again. Relax with each breath. Take it slow. And now, as you inhale, I want you to be mindful of taking in all that you need. And when you exhale, I want you to release and let go of anything that does not serve you. Any fear, any toxic thoughts, any concern. Breathe in and breathe in all the light and support and safety and peace and love that you need. And exhale and let go of anything that does not serve you. And now I invite you to take an inhale and bring your attention to your jaw. And I want you to notice if your jaw is tight. Be mindful that just like when you're getting ready to walk and your muscles tense up so that you can move, be mindful that when you are thinking thoughts or you're getting ready to speak, the tongue flexes, the tongue tenses before it gets ready to speak. And so I want you to relax the tongue. Breathe in, be aware of the tongue. Exhale, relax the tongue and let go of any words that are unsaid that don't need to be said. Breathe in again. Inhale and exhale, and again, relax the jaw. Relax and release any words of fear, frustration, anxiety, gossip, any words that don't serve you. Release them. Continuing to breathe in through the nose and exhale through the nose. And now on the inhale, bring your awareness to your heart. Bring your awareness to your heart and bring your awareness to the energy surrounding your heart. Bring your awareness to the energy surrounding your heart. And just notice how you feel. Take another deep breath in. And this time hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale and release all the tension around your heart. Take another deep breath in. And again, hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale again and release all of the energy that does not serve you. Release everything that you do not need. And know that every time you hold your breath, you allow the heart to slow down. You allow it to stop beating so fast, and you relax your nervous system. And now I want you to take another inhale. And on the inhale, I want you to bring your awareness to your gut. And I want you to just be aware of how you're feeling in your belly. And now take another deep breath in and hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale and release all the tension in your gut, all the tension in the belly, all the fear. Just let it go. It's not here in this moment. Just let it go. And now I want you to take 4 deep cleansing breaths. And when you inhale, I want you to just scan your body from your toes all the way up to your crown and just check in and see if there's any blocked energy. And when you exhale, I want you to release a field of healing white light through the body in any of the places that need a little love, and let go through the toes of anything that does not serve you. Ready? Take a deep breath in. Breathe in, breathe it in, breathe it in, breathe it in, breathe it in, and hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale, exhale, exhale. Clear, white, loving light from the crown of your head through the soles of your feet and through the feet. Let go of anything that does not serve you. Ready? Deep breath in from the soles of your feet, breathing in white, loving light all the way up through the body to the crown of the head and holding it for 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhaling through the nose, exhaling white light throughout the body from the crown of the head to the soles of the feet, letting go of anything that does not serve you. And with these last 2 breaths, we're going to breathe in through the nose, and this time we're going to exhale through the mouth, and we're going to literally allow the body to collapse with a sigh. Okay? Ready? Take a deep breath in, bring it all the way up from the toes, bring that healing white light all the way up through the body to the crown, and we're going to hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale. Last time, take a deep breath in from the toes, breathing in clear, white, loving light all the way up through the shins, through the knees, through the thighs, through the stomach, through the heart, the throat, the face, and the crown, and hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1, and release a sigh of ah. And you can slowly open your eyes. And so I encourage you to take time, to spend time with the breath. Spend time sending healing, loving light to any of the places that need it. Do a body scan and check in and see where you feel the tension. Is it in your chest? Is it in your gut? Are you getting a headache? Take a deep breath in and just let go of anything that does not serve you in this moment. Gossip, drama, speaking words of fear, none of that is going to serve you, nor your children, nor your family members. Right now, you have the power to hold light within you so that you can keep yourself balanced and whole as you maintain clarity and receive divine instruction on how to move. I pray that that meditation was helpful and healing. Thank you.
Give thanks, Queen. Oh my. That was so needed. Thank you. Such a natural. Give thanks. I feel it felt like I was asleep for like an hour.
Well, I'll tell you what. Thank you, Queen. If you fell asleep, that is fantastic.
Yes,
That's the best thing that you could do during
yes.
meditation.
That was beautiful. Give thanks. It's
Give
important
thanks.
to just be still, to be
Yes.
still, get in tune with your breath, get in alignment. Yes, so you can be a force, when there's chaos.
You
You-
said it. So
Yeah,
you can be a force because the trick is to take all of your precious energy and use it, convert it to fear to keep you suppressed so that you remain oppressed, right? And
hey,
so the
I like
moment
that.
I know that just came, that's
Reverend
because we were in
Youngblood.
meditation. So the words just came.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So again, if the heart emits the greatest amount of energy, 60 times more than the brain. You know what an amp is when you're turning up the sound in a stereo? The heart has 60 times more amps than the brain. And your heart is driven by your beliefs. So the goal is to keep us believing that the world is about to end and stay in a state of fear, and that fear suppresses the immune system. And when we stay suppressed, we are vulnerable to be oppressed and
Yes.
overtaken,
Yes.
right? And so that is why it's important to really use the tools. They may seem simple, they may seem silly, like, yeah, whatever, Cap, I'm strapped. Listen, all I can tell you is the energy that you carry is the energy that you will attract. And the heart is like a force field, right? So, because the heart is so powerful, if you maintain a level of calm and inner peace, you may find that the energy around you in the midst of chaos, you may find that you still have peace in your home or peace of mind, or that your children go to bed tonight and they're not consumed with fear that's going to cause them to have developmental issues or stress related issues or undue trauma. So, you, as the leaders in your home, as the leader and dominion over your life, you owe it to yourself to use these tools of mindfulness to put them into practice. That's so important. And in addition to that, we really encourage you now more than ever to alkalize the body. It is so important that the body be alkalized because you need the power if you need to make a move. If you have to walk swiftly, if you
Absolutely.
have to run, if you have to stretch, if you have to carry someone, if you have to transport loved ones, like whatever it is that you need to do, even just saying, I don't have the energy. I've had so many people call me and say, Cap, I just don't have the strength anymore. 2020 wiped me out. I'm tired. James Cleveland used to sing a song, I don't feel no ways tired. And for all of our people who have been working hard on the front lines, who have been activists in the name of social justice, who have been caregivers in the family, we know that you are physically exhausted. And the stress of this today, on top of all else, again, the stress can make you exhausted. Why is that? Because the brain sends signals through the body in the way of stress hormones. So the least that you can do is protect your mind so that you are not consumed with stress. To depress, suppress, or oppress. Yeah? Yes? So, in the spirit of that,
It's alcohol.
it is Green Foods Week. It is all things green. We are here to alkalize the body, and it is so important now more than ever. I know you might be feeling stressed, and the first thing you want to do is go to that, potato chips, the cookies, the ice cream, make yourself a, big juicy steak or something that's going to sit on your stomach so you can fall asleep. But you might find that the state of your dreams, you might have nightmares, especially if you don't do as much as you can to balance your energy and put foods that are going to put life in the blood, in the body, to oxygenate you, to give you clarity. How else can you tap in if there's no life force in the body? So we want to make a juice.
Yeah, no
And
life, no light.
no
So
life, no light.
the
Absolutely.
foods you have there have been cooked by the sun, and
Cooked
you
by
can't
the
get no
sun.
brighter than the sun. So
Yes.
you can embody the light.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Queen.
Get it.
And so we have greens. I mean, greens are good for the heart. Greens help to, first of all, I mean, look at these greens. Look at the texture. Look at how just nature just blesses us. I don't know if I can zoom in on these things, but look at the size of this collard green. Right? Have you ever known a collard green to be so beautiful? Look at the beauty. Can you see that? I don't know if I can zoom in a little bit. But can you
And
see
that's
the
another
texture
kale
of this
is
kale? It is
beautiful.
absolutely gorgeous. I'm not sure if Jada is around, but I would love to show people the beauty of this green, you know? Um, but the point is, you want dark leafy greens. The darker the green, the better. And so, I've got cucumbers, I've got kale, I've got parsley, I've got some Swiss chard, I've got some collard greens. And I wanted to talk about, how to make a green juice. Like, what makes a green juice? What are the fundamentals? So, Queen, maybe we can be side by side as we talk through this process. I
Okay.
want us to help people to understand. People were talking about, like, I don't understand the juicing thing. What am I supposed to put in the juice? I usually use a blender and make smoothies. But let's talk about, what are the fundamental ingredients in a juice?
Well, usually when you make a juice, you want to have three parts. It starts with three parts, right? You have your base, which is a high density water vegetable,
Mm-hmm.
like your
Which are
celery,
these?
your cucumbers, some of the stems of chard sometimes it is high.
They have so much water. Where are my
Absolutely.
stems? So
Yeah,
this is chard for
right.
people who don't know. Some people call it Swiss chard, but you see the stems are white. They have a lot of water.
Yes,
Last week I had some, or when we were focusing on the root chakra, we had red chard and the vein was red. But this is white and it has a lot of water. That's what she's talking about. This is a chard. This is a collard. See
right.
the difference?
Beautiful
This is the
though.
collard. Aren't they pretty? Look
Right.
at these. Look at nature,
Centipede.
right? Right? And then this was the kale I was telling you about. Thank you, Jada. Look
Mm.
at the texture of that. This is my favorite type of kale, the lacinato kale.
And it's
Anyway,
like when you're preparing like a kale salad, it's like therapeutic for me. Like when I'm like breaking up the kale, that lacinato, because of the texture,
yes,
it feels
yes.
really good.
And
So
although my hands are queen, my hands are clean. My hands are clean. Even though I was rubbing the bowl, I just want to give them another rinse. But so you said we need to start with something that has water. I don't have any celery today, but I do have cucumber,
okay, great.
and we did this just for show.
Mhm.
We were actually making salad, but I like to actually juice the cucumber with the skin, especially if it's organic, because the green is where it's at. Again, the healing is in the green, and
Right.
of course inside the cucumber, just like with the chard, look, there's all this water. I just wanted to show you that. Okay, so we've got our water fruit, and then what's next, Queen?
And then the second step is a fruit. So
Okay.
keep in mind, this is the basics. This is you just starting out. This is the 101. And you want to use a fruit like an apple, an orange. Yeah, berries are
Like
good.
oranges in my green juice. I just want to tell you.
Right.
I
Okay.
think, when we studied with Queen Afua, she used to always say, kind of like with segregation, keep stuff in the same family. And so I'm not a big fan of orange juice and greens, but we can always agree to disagree. That's just something. I like to
Yeah.
stick with the sub-acid fruits, like apples, I think are great because apples are neutral. They don't really overpower the taste. And
Right.
apples are also a great source of water, so
Hmm.
it's a great way to also help to liquefy the greens without shifting, and sometimes oranges, depending on the sugar content for those who are diabetic. So, but to each his own. Don't want to discourage. If that's
Again,
what you have.
and it's 101. So,
Yes.
basically I would say no fruit. But
Yeah.
you know, so
Yeah.
we have your base, we have the fruit, and you have the
Hmm.
apple there. And then your
Hmm.
third step is you want a deep, deep chlorophyll, if that's a word, green, such as
Yes. And that's all of these.
the kale. Um, what do you got there?
Kale, collards. I've
Parsley.
got parsley. Where's my
Hmm.
parsley? All of these building the red blood cells,
Right.
really great source of iron.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so
Yeah.
the
So
darker the greens, the better
the
as
darker
well.
green, the better. For people just starting out, I would recommend a deep dark green like spinach, um,
Yeah.
as the flavor is a little lighter, just to ease you in. But
Mm-hmm.
then when you start getting used to your juices, then you go for your, you go really deep with your kales and your parsley and your cilantro. But
Yeah.
we're seasoned in this, so we're gonna
Yeah, we kind of OG with it. Green gangsters.
we're gonna green it,
So
and you want to use a two when you're first starting out. You want to use like a 2-to-1 ratio, so 2 vegetables to 1 fruit, and
when you say two, you mean two kinds, not
two
two
kinds.
pieces of
Yeah,
leaf,
no,
just
no,
to
no,
give
no,
people.
right. Thank you
Yeah,
for that. Yes, two
yeah.
kinds. You don't want to use, like 3 different types of fruit and just a little bit of spinach or a little bit of kale or a little bit of cucumber. No, you want two different types of greens. Again, your high density water vegetable, your deep green, and then your 1 fruit.
Okay.
If you
Yeah.
yeah.
And in this case, then I've got still got a 2-to-1 ratio because I've got four types of deep greens, and
Uh-huh.
then I have two fruits. I have an apple and I have lime.
Okay.
So I also always use like a lemon or lime to
Hmm.
also to just give it flavor and wake it up, but also it helps to alkalize. And today I also want to use a little ginger. I'm just a ginger girl, right? I love ginger. Ginger is good for the circulation. Ginger is good for the blood. Ginger is also great for reducing inflammation. And so, since we're talking about mitigating stress at this time, when you have stress, your body becomes inflamed because it's trying to protect itself, because it thinks that you have to fight or flee. Again, repetition is the mother of learning. We say what seems like the same things, but each time you hear it, it's like, oh, now I understand. For some people, your arthritis might be acting up right now because you're feeling stressed. So even that level of inflammation, and ginger is great for that. So I'm going to get started with this juice, queen,
All
and I
right.
would love, as I'm putting things in, feel free to offer some additional wellness tips on
All
what these things do to the body. It would be great if this was plugged in. So
right.
I'm going to plug it in, and of course at the expense of losing my lights. So here we go.
Okay, let's do it.
So here we go. Ready? Let's see. Calm in the midst of chaos.
There you go.
Power is not working.
Done
What
on
do? We
purpose.
take a breath. Everything that we learned in 2020 was about teaching us in real time how to be. It's not always what we do. Look at that. Look at that. Just by being calm. That really was a beautiful metaphor, though. I couldn't have timed that more perfectly. But 2020 really taught us how to be, like those of us who really um, who made it through, right? We learned something about ourselves. We learned that stressing about it doesn't change anything. You still have to take action to restore your personal power and your peace. So we have power. So
Mm.
here we go. So I'm going to start with some of the dark leafy greens, because what happens is they're so dense that oftentimes I like to follow it with water,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
know.
So what did you put in there? What is that? Your cucumber?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm starting with my greens because they're dense, right? And then I'll usually chase that with some watery fruit.
Yeah. Okay, the deep leafy greens is gonna
Okay,
really
here we go.
oxygenate the blood. The kale, you have the kale there. That's an excellent source of vitamin K. That's
Talk
prevent.
about vitamin K, Queen.
Yeah, vitamin
I don't think
K.
people know.
Yeah, it prevents blood clotting. That's why we want to, that's why vitamin K is very, very important to fight against your blood clotting. So you want
Yeah.
vitamin K in your diet. And that chard is full of iron.
Yes.
Like
We
spinach.
need iron in the blood for
You need
energy, as
iron
well
in
as
the
parsley.
blood to keep, yes, absolutely. Those
Parsley is also good for the respiratory system as well.
the parsley, right? You
Yes.
said parsley. Yes, absolutely. It's good. It has a great source of zinc and fiber to help you Regular.
How about that? And that's important too, because when you're
Oh,
stressed out
speedy.
and you're bound up, forget
Oh my
about it.
God. And
And now
usually,
I'm gonna chase all my greens. I'm sorry, Queen. Go
no, no,
ahead
no. What do
with
you
my
have here?
cucumber.
Your cucumber. Also, I
All
did
that water coming out.
excellent source of fiber, the water,
Got my ginger.
ginger for your digestive system and circulatory system,
Got my limes.
lime,
I'm just gonna use
vitamin
one.
C,
And
vitamin
my
C,
apples.
vitamin B, well, fiber, apples, high in antioxidants with the
Yeah, I
apple.
think I'm gonna do 2 limes.
I like to say an apple a day.
Yeah,
Because I
I'm
have
just gonna put all these apples in. Why not? All right. So we're gonna call this the Green Gangster. On Friday, on Feel Good Fridays, we made a Green Gangster, and I think the only difference is I had celery and I didn't have ginger, but I used all the other ingredients. Um, but it's still all good. It's the same principle. You want to get your greens in hard body. This is the time when, this is not a time to play.
no,
For so many years, if you think about what's going on now, we've kind of had it. Things have been relatively smooth prior to these last 40 years. And we're coming into a new season, and I mean a new spiritual season. This is about accepting change. We will never go back to what things were. It's just not going to happen. Every day is a new day. Every day something changes, even if it means that your skin gets a little softer, or your body gets a little older, or your hair gets a little grayer. Every single day, there is change. And the more we can adapt to change as opposed to being afraid, which has us contract and get tight and rigid, which makes us more susceptible to being broken, the more we can be fluid and flexible and ask the question, where is the opportunity? Where is the lesson? Where is the blessing? Or what is my instruction? Perhaps the only thing you need to do is be still and go within and stay in until you receive your charge. What someone else is charged to do may not be your charge. Really go in. This is a time after the great conjunction, after all of these phenomena have happened in our time. This time more than ever is about listening to that intuition, in the intuitive wisdom. And that can only come from getting in alignment, from alkalizing the body, and reminding yourself of who you are. Oh my gosh, look at how green this is. This is pure life, y'all. This is pure life. Because you want to know something? No matter what happens, I just refuse to allow the chaos to enter my heart. I just, if there's something that I don't like, especially about activity or behavior of someone, why would I want to emulate that vibration by taking it in? I just love myself too much to do that. Now, don't get me wrong. Like you said, Queen, it's not like these things don't affect us. It's not like we're not triggered. It's just, oop, let me get my bowl. Let me get my tools. Let me take a breath. Let me burn some incense. Let me get some tea. Let me drink some green juice. Let me take a salt bath. Let me call a good friend and get a good word. Now, somebody that's going to complain and start riddling my ears with a bunch of anxiety. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Because I need to be clear. I need to know, what am I supposed to do during this time? If I turn on the news, they're going to tell me one thing. If I call my friend who's afraid, she's going to tell me something else. If I call this guy, he's going to be like, let's drop up and get it go. Like, I need to know what is right for me. And when it's right for me, it'll feel right. And I'll be divinely guided and I'll be protected in my movement, because I'll be moving from a place of inspiration on purpose. And that's really all that you can do. We're not here to tell you, how to move in those situations. We're telling you how to go in so you can get the wisdom that you need within yourself, right? We're here to be guides. And so this is gangster right here. This green drink, look how dense and green. It's nothing but light. I wish you could see all the power, all the like, yo, it's like just the elements, the way the green is floating. It's amazing. But to everyone, under the sound of my voice, I really want you to know peace in the midst of this chaos. I want you to know that everything that you need is inside of you, and your purpose is divinely ordered, and it is no one else's but yours. And the only way that you are going to know how to be is to go within. It is so important for you to protect your personal space so that you can be clear no matter what. If you decide to go outside, you still want to be clear. You still want to be moving with intention, and you want to use the power in your heart to magnetize what needs to come towards you and repel anything that is not necessary. So here's to you. This is the Green Gangster. Oh, yeah. Queen, this is good.
Good.
Mm.
I got it. Look, save me some. I want to come over and get some.
Yeah, I'm gonna save you some. I promise I will. This is I feel powerful. Do you know? Do you know when I drink this, I actually feel like I feel my body waking up.
Yeah, you
I
feel it
feel
go
like
through like your veins or
because it's like an IV. It's
yeah.
going straight to the blood. Someone on Instagram asked me, "Is juicing wasteful because you have all the pulp left over as opposed to a smoothie?" And so the answer is no, actually, because when you juice, especially when you extract the juice from vegetables, it goes straight to the bloodstream.
Yes.
So any nutrients, anything that you need, it's like an IV boost. And then the pulp, there's so many things you can do with the pulp, right?
Mhm.
If you're not a gardener and you don't want to make it, use it to make compost. There's a couple of things. Actually, Queen, you had brought to mind for me a while back. You can use it in soup. It
Yeah.
makes an excellent broth. You can take, look at all this. Wait, hold on, let me take another sip. Mm. And that brings me joy. Look at all this pulp. Look at that. I mean, I got my hands all in it, but whatever. Look at that pulp, right? You
Right.
can actually take that, saute down some onions and garlic, your little celery, your carrots, and put in some water and add that in and really make an amazing
Yeah.
hearty broth to some soup.
Nothing
You
goes to
know,
waste.
nothing goes away. What's another way that people can utilize pulp, Queen?
Well, you can use it for compost, and I like to use it in my dehydrator to make crackers or cookies. It depends on what I put in my juice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Um, well, some people it depends. Like I was gonna say, like for that juice that we just made, um, because it has apple in it, I wouldn't probably necessarily put it in my soup. That's why sometimes it's just good if you can just be a little disciplined and not use fruit at all. But or you might, hey, sometime when I make a salad, I put apples in it. Some people put strawberries. I know you like strawberries. So you put me on, it tastes really good. But yeah, you can, make cookies, make crackers, use it as compost. And actually, you can throw that pulp back in the juicer and really squeeze
And really
it
get the
out.
right.
Get
You get
everything.
all the drops.
Get
Yes. You
every
can also even put some
drop.
in a dressing. You can
Ooh,
basically do
I like
whatever you want.
that.
Yes. And I
That's
will say this,
nice.
just like when we made the vegan carrot tuna, when we juiced the carrots, even though we made carrot, apple, beet, ginger juice, if
Mhm.
you know that you're going to use it for something else, just once you like juice all the things you need and then
Right.
remove that pulp and then
Mhm.
finish juicing the rest. But nothing goes to waste.
Right.
Nothing goes to waste. And so, again, alkalize the body. Try not to eat too heavy over the next couple of days and just see how you feel. You still want to be alert and sharp and ready. Like, I'm not saying that you just sit in the house and woo woo. All I'm saying is maintain your nervous system because you still want to be sharp, you want to be clear, you want to be alert. Recognize that the news is information. It's information. Take what you need, let go of what doesn't serve you. When you find yourself feeling anxiety, it's natural. I'm not saying that I sit here and I'm not triggered. I get triggered all the time. I'm a human being. But what I am saying is I go straight to my tools. And it's like, you know what? I was not born with the spirit of fear, but of love and a sound mind. I will not allow this to just hijack my nervous system
Amen.
because you can be emotionally hijacked.
Yes.
And then what? Now you sitting there, you can't do nothing, you can't function. And if you have children, they are watching you. They are watching you. I'll never forget the time that I was a little girl and there was a threat of war, and my father said, "There shall be a war." I'd never forget. It's like I can see him saying it right now. And I was terrified because my father said it. And it wasn't even that he was afraid, he started declaring terrible things were going to happen because he was watching the news. He didn't mean any harm, but
Right.
he didn't have any idea. And he's probably watching this now going, what did I do? He had no idea. I was terrified. I went to bed, I couldn't sleep, I had nightmares. So you want to be mindful of protecting the minds and hearts of your children. I'm not saying keep them in the dark, but just be mindful of the words that you speak over your life and over the life of your loved ones and in your midst, right? Relax the tongue. Relax the tongue and take that energy. Remember, the energy of fear can be transformed into love. So take that energy of fear and do something with it. Create something, write something, read something, digest some information, work out, do something that's going to allow you to burn that energy and transform it. That's all. So you can stay on point, so you can stay poised, powerful, and perfectly prepared for peace. I'm on an alliteration roll today. Could be because I just did a meditation, so my creative space is really open. But yeah, Queen, you have a good word for us?
Yes, I do. Calm is the elixir. No, repeat. Calm is the magic elixir that brings you to a place of balance and clarity in the midst of chaos.
Ooh, ooh, I like that. Can you say that again?
Calm is the magic elixir that brings you to a place of balance and clarity in the midst of chaos.
I love that. I love that it's called calm is a magic elixir.
Elixir, yeah.
Please, please be mindful. We are in a different time. We are in a time of energy exchange. We're in a time of frequency exchange. We're in a time where your mental, emotional, just energy and motion is powerful, right? And so people want you to buy into that energy of fear. They want to hijack you emotionally so that you can be controlled. Because if I can riddle you with fear and I didn't even touch you, and I'm not outside your door, that means that I can control you. And I don't care what anybody says. Love, not romance, right? But the energy and the spirit of love, which is just balance, which is supreme understanding, which is knowing yourself and being grounded in the knowing of who you are and your source of all, right? Being really firmly rooted in that truth will help you on the inside, and everything comes from within throughout. So be mindful tonight if you find yourself sitting around spewing words of more fear, hypothesizing and theorizing and blaming and judging. Like, it doesn't really serve anything. And it is also a part of an elixir, right? That can cause harm to the body, you know? And if you decide you need to get some stuff off, get it off, but be mindful of who you're exchanging that with and if they have the capacity to handle that and spar with you. Because sometimes me and you, we need to like talk about some things, but we have to make sure that minds that are easily influenced or don't have the tools are not around because
That's
they can't really handle that. And
right.
so then we do our cleansing, we do our shift, we get it out, we find ways to process. So I'm not judging anyone's process. But if you are riddled with fear or anxiety, if of the 20 calls that I got today, and maybe there were more, but if 90% of those calls, I can tell you, um, friends, family, loved ones, like take some time to just go in, take some time to go within yourself. Everything that Tracy Queen and I do, it was personal work. It was work. It was years of work on ourselves. And we're still works in progress because as long as we live, this journey is going to teach us something new about ourselves. And so I just encourage you to get on the journey of healing within yourself, no matter what your role is on this planet, no matter what your purpose is. You still want to do it from a place of personal power, peace, and protection. So we thank you for joining us. We pray that our words, that our meditation, that our guidance and information has done something to educate, inform you, enlighten you, or hopefully to lighten your spirit. And so we again remind you, eat light, drink green, drink lots of water,
Water.
take a warm bath, turn the TV off. You know what happened. Get what you need, and then at least have the TV off 2 hours before you decide to go to bed. So you don't bring all of that energy into your sleeping state.
That's
And
a
protect the minds and hearts of your children. What's that, Queen?
I said that's a good gauge. 2 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because
Well,
you need time to like process that and
yeah.
then shift and
Hmm.
then shift. Put on some jazz or some music that doesn't have words and honor yourself. Like, give yourself the opportunity to relax. Just because there's chaos on the outside doesn't mean you need to bring it in, you know? And when you go to bed tonight, ask your higher power, your deeper wisdom, your ancestors, whatever it is that you know and believe in you gives you light for guidance. What is my next step? What is it that I am here to do? What is my purpose? Who am I at this time? If you need support. So, thank you all for joining us. Be safe, stay calm, take care of yourself, and happy Wellness Wednesday.
Happy Wellness Wednesday.